Klein. Today, I'll walk you through how you can future-proof your marketing strategy from a creator and a content perspective. So, as most of you have probably heard many times by now, the creator economy has been valued at over $100 billion. The creators, with the help of the massive social media platforms like TikTok, like Instagram, are completely disrupting the whole traditional branded content ads. And the search for content that's personalized, that's authentic, that's really diverse and at scale has never been more critical. And so for those reasons, brands today have got absolutely no option but to adapt to the new era, and or else they will actually be losing out on attracting the digitally native generation and losing out on attracting Gen Z. So let's start with the creator economy. As a whole, the creator economy represents not only the influencers and the celebrities, but also creators of all kinds. So whether you're a gamer, a personal trainer, or a chef, or just someone who happens to be talented at taking really and creating really good content. And this is super important for all brands to understand, because this means that creators of all kinds are actually capable or have got a huge impact in the buying journey, whether these are macro influencers, mega influencers, your customers, or even your employees. And actually, all the industry stats and data support that. So 85% of consumers say that user-generated content plays a huge impact in their purchase decision. 64% of consumers make an immediate purchase when watching a branded social video. And because many brands are now understanding this shift in the industry, the social spend by global marketers increased by over 53%. Now the question is, if the industry is shifting this way, what's expected from a brand perspective in order to really be ahead of the game? And the answer really lies in this little pyramid, and specifically at the bottom of this pyramid. While today, over 95% of the marketing budget is actually spent on the agencies and celebrity influencers, what many brands are truly missing out on is really to unleash the full potential of the much larger creator network, which is the much longer tail of the creator marketplace. And what I mean by the longer tail of the marketplace, or the creator marketplace, starts all the way at the bottom, with the 100 million plus consumers who are willing to work for recognition. Let me give you an example. If I were to shoot some content with a Burberry bag and get featured on their homepage, that's pretty exciting for me. And so at Social Native, we tend to see that over 70% of consumers grant rights to their content for free to brands when asked to be featured. Then we've got the 48 million plus micro, nano influencers, or really just anyone who's super talented at creating a cool TikTok video or like a really engaging Instagram reel. Then we've got the 36 million plus freelancers, and that's the community who's really good at like editing content or like creating cool animation videos. Now, of course, there will always be a place for the mega, macro, and celebrity influencers. They are all very important, and they all play a critical role in the marketing and content strategies. But if you really want to be ahead of the game, then you really need to unlock the full power of the everyday people. And you really need to do so in a strategic way. So I guess now that we've understood the importance of really unlocking that power of the longer tail of the creator marketplace, the question is, how can brands unlock the power of the everyday people, and how can they do so in a strategic way? And the answer is that more and more brands would need to activate large volume of people. And in order to do so, they would need to be supported by the right technology. And certainly at Social Native, all the brands that partner with us have been super successful doing just that. And the idea can sort of be summarized or summarized in a 4-step process. It all starts with a define. You'll be really, really surprised, but there are so many brands out there, even global brands and top brands, who do not have a clear and defined content strategy. And when it comes to content, it's really key that you defined that strategy, that you've got a clear goal, and you've got a clear success metrics. Now, strategies and goals might be different from one brand to the other. For example, brand A might have a goal that has to do with leveraging or creating a large volume of content that's diverse, that's inclusive. Brand B might have a completely different goal that's more revenue-driven goal and maybe leveraging content to drive more conversion and drive more revenue. While brand C might have a goal that has to do with product coverage and maybe leveraging content to increase product coverage. Maybe they have a significant product catalog. So whatever your goal or your strategy is, it's really important that it is defined, that it's measurable and super clear. So now that we've defined that content strategy, the second step would be to collect, create, or edit. And what I mean by collect is basically collecting all the pre-existing content that your community posts on different social channels, and that's the recognition model I was referring to earlier with the Burberry example. And of course, that content you would need to be supported by the right technology to be able to collect all that volume of content, but also moderate that content, curate it, and get it approved before activating that content. Then you've got create, and this is basically creating brand new content, leveraging the creator network or the creator marketplace, and that's sort of the influencer model. So eventually brands would need to have a brief, and then they would need to be supported by the right technology in order to source creators at scale to help them execute that brief in a successful way. Then we've got edit. Edit has to do with editing pre-existing content. So perhaps you've got a piece of content that's performing really well on one channel or the other, and you want to repurpose that on a different channel. And this is where you leverage the freelancers community to do so. But actually, the brands that are being really ahead of the game when it comes to content are brands who are leveraging all the three at the same time. So they're collecting all that pre-existing content from their community through social media, and they are also creating brand new content, leveraging the creator network, and they're also editing that content and repurposing that content, leveraging the freelancers community. So now that we've defined our content strategy, we've got our content, whether it's user-generated content or paid content, the third step is distribute. So whatever type of content you're actually leveraging, it is key that you ensure that content is distributed across multiple digital channels. And certainly at Social Native, we support many brands activating that content, not only on their social channels and paid media, but also through their product detail page, their homepage on the website, apps, their marketing emails, and also offline and in stores using slideshows, for example. So now that we've defined our strategy, we've got our content, we're distributing that content through multiple channels, it is key to analyze and optimize. Now, I'm sure everyone here knows that data is key and A/B testing is key. So whatever type of content you're leveraging, whether it's user-generated content or whether it's paid content, and whatever channel you're leveraging that content on, it is super important that you come with an open mind and really be willing to test and learn. Because what might work for you as a brand or not is actually specific to your industry and might be unique to your brand and even more unique to your audience. And certainly as a social native, we partnered with over 1,000 brands doing exactly just that. So we are an end-to-end global content solution. We are serving over 70 local markets. We've got offices in the UK, in the US, and Argentina. And historically, we've had over 100,000 activations across over 3,000 brand campaigns. And we have actually been super focused on supporting many brands, collecting, curating, and activating user-generated content across multiple channels. And looking at our customers' data and looking at the industry data, we know that UGC works. We know that UGC is the future, and we know that more brands, actually, we recommend that more brands leverage the power of UGC. UGC is trustworthy. User-generated content is definitely a powerful social proof because it simply enables the consumers or like the visitors to be able to visualize that product or service in a context that's more relatable to real life. And by doing so, brands are actually bringing that authenticity piece to the whole shopping experience. And again, the number speaks for themselves. So we tend to see an average conversion rate at least as twice as higher when user-generated content is present versus when it's not. Something else that we've been super focused on is really creating one of the largest creators network. We've got over 2 million global social native creators creating over 8 million pieces of content. And again, looking at our customers' data, looking at the industry data, we definitely recommend that all brands need to be exploring and leveraging that creator marketplace. And the beauty about creator marketplace is that only the creators who truly relate to your brands and truly relate to your brief or are truly capable of delivering the results that you're after would opt in. Now, of course, there will always be some creators who are great at driving awareness, and so they would add more value at the top of the funnel, while you've got other creators who would be really good at conversion and driving further revenue and further sales. But certainly, they are all equally valuable. Another key area that we've been super focused on is the short form video. We've been supporting many brands at Social Native, creating short form video content. And again, looking at our customers' data, looking at the industry data, we definitely recommend that all brands need to be leveraging the short form video content. So actually, the whole consumption or content consumption has completely shifted, with the digital user today having access to multiple devices, being present on multiple social platforms and multiple websites as well. They can simply no longer focus on doing just one thing for an extended period of time. And so actually the digital attention span is getting shorter and shorter. And the current digital attention span is 2.5 seconds. Okay, let me say that once more. The current digital attention span is 2.5 seconds. So what that essentially means is that all brands have got less than 3 seconds to capture that attention, or else they wouldn't even exist. So we definitely recommend that all brands rethink this new trend and also engage with their customers by using video that's short and creative. And now to showcase everything that I've been talking about so far, I wanted to share with you some great case studies from some of the inspiring brands that we've been working with. So starting with All Saints, I'm sure most of you here might be familiar with All Saints, and a great British fashion brand. I'm personally a big fan of the brand. So we have partnered with All Saints in order to collect, curate, and activate user-generated content, specifically on their website, on their homepage. So what we've done here is we've collected all that content and got it approved and got the rights for it, and built a gallery so that when users get to the homepage, they could see UGC on a gallery that's shoppable. And what I mean by shoppable is that when clicking on every single piece of UGC, it will take them to the product detail page to make a purchase. And on the back of this, All Saints have seen amazing results. So on one hand, the whole customer experience has improved so much that over 80% of their visitors who interacted with that UGC gallery returned back to the website. And on the other hand, this has driven the engagement rate further up, with on average every user interacting with 5 pieces of content. The second case study I've got for you here today is Calvin Klein, obviously an iconic brand. So what Calvin Klein was trying to do here is to really reimagine their intimate essentials with creators that truly represented their brand. And so they partnered with us in order to create brand new content for them and source those creators on their behalf. And the great thing about Calvin Klein is that they actually have given the full liberty to those creators in order to express themselves and create a content that's at the same time authentic, but also is in line with the brand identity and visual style. And again, this has been super successful. So we've created over 100 pieces of content, both video and static images. And this has driven over an engagement rate of over 3%. But again, when looking at the stats and the data, I think just focusing on the engagement rate can be a biased way of doing things. That same pieces of content that being created could be leveraged on other channels like website, like in-store, and then the true value would be by measuring the impact of that same pieces of content across multiple channels and not only social. Then we've got Microsoft, another amazing brand we partner with. So what Microsoft were trying to do here is to further penetrate the Latin American market, but they actually noticed that the content that worked for the US market was not working at all for the Latin countries. And so we partnered with Microsoft in order to help them create content that would resonate with those 7 LATAM countries, content that's localized and authentic, in order to eventually drive more awareness and drive more sales. And this is actually one of the fantastic examples of high volume activation. So we've been able to help Microsoft create over 200 pieces of content, both video and image, which have driven over an engagement rate of almost actually 10%, which is 2.5 times higher to what we see with the benchmark. And then we've got the 4th season, again, an amazing hospitality brand. And the reason why I have chosen this specific example is that often UGC relates to fast fashion and like retailers and things like that. But this is one of the amazing examples that user-generated content can drive a lot of revenue and a lot of value, even for the luxury segment. The example of the 4th season here, they were trying to capture unique customer moments from over 100 cities around the world. And we have partnered with them in order to collect all that content that's being created by their community, curating that content and activating it not only on their website, but also through other channels. And now that I have shared with you all those fantastic examples from those inspiring brands who are really taking the content to the next level, I want to also share with you a video from our creator community.
As a creator, or more importantly, a female creator, I've been blessed to work with brands and companies through the Social Native platform. These brands have embraced me for who I am, inside and out. I'm sending a big thank you to Social Native for showing me that dreams do come true and that anything is possible.
Amazing. That's all I had to share with you today. Obviously, I can talk for days about this topic, but I want to be respectful of time. So thank you, everyone, for attending this talk today. I hope this was useful for everybody, and I open the floor to questions.
Thank you ever so much. Really informative and so great when there's videos involved as well, because we can sit back and watch them. Has anyone got any questions at all? Yes, I will run over here, getting my step count up again. Here you go.
Hi. Thanks for that. I'm wondering if you have had any experience of B2B brands leveraging UGC in their content strategies and how they've approached that.
That's a really good question. We do have got all types of customers. Now, that's true that the UGC historically has been focused on the B2C segment, but B2B is also, a great way to be able to leverage UGC even further. I don't have any specific examples now on top of my head, but we can leverage user-generated content the same way we do for the B2C market.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you. Has anyone else got any questions at all? Nope. I've got a quick question for you. So, with the business that you're in, how is it best to approach, when you're a smaller brand, how is it best to approach building and scaling your content strategy? I particularly like that stat, 2.5 seconds digital attention span. I think a goldfish is 9 seconds, so we're a pretty frightening species now, aren't we? But yes, how do you go about doing that with smaller brands and building content?
Absolutely, that's a great question. So we partner with brands of all sizes, so the smaller brands, the bigger brands. I think what's important when you're really a smaller brand is to leverage everything that your community is already posted online. And so partnering with technology that could help you actually collect all that content organically and give you the ability to approve the content that's in line with your brand. And that's essentially content that you could leverage not only on your social media channels, but across different digital channels as well. So I think that's definitely a starting point. And then if you want to scale even further, then you could go to the paid side of it and then get influencers or creators on board. And you can start with the really smaller sort of influencers like the micro and the nano, or even leveraging your own consumers to create content for you.
Really great. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.